Hello everyone, this is Sri Lakshmi S. Welcome to Kerala PSC HSA English classes. This is class 73 and today's topic is teaching prose, poetry and grammar from the last module, teaching of English. So let's start with teaching of prose. Prose pieces can be of various types, such as narratives, stories, descriptions, biographies, and autobiographies. Teaching prose should begin with teaching the skill of reading. Prose teaching should be intensive and extensive, with both literary aim and subject matter aim. Teaching prose helps students to understand the passage, enrich and learn new vocabulary, and to improve their reading skill. Teaching prose requires a very good planning from the part of the teacher. The teacher should prepare necessary teaching aids, especially in lower classes. Here is a basic order of teaching prose: introduction, presentation of the lesson, model reading, pronunciation drills, loud reading, linguistic drills and explanation, silent reading by the pupil, comprehension questions, and at last, evaluation. Now let's see the general objectives of teaching prose. To enhance language skills, especially reading and listening, to increase vocabulary and develop the skill of speaking and writing, to kindle imagination, to learn correct pronunciation and read passages with proper pronunciation, stress, and intonation, to comprehend the meaning of the text, and to create interest in literature. Next is teaching of poetry. Poetry is a form of literary art which arouses the feelings of a person and of a visual form in words. It is considered to be the soul of literature. Poetry can be one that describes a thing or a person, narration of some events, or it can be an expression of a person's feelings. The main aim of poetry teaching is to give pleasure and create a sense of appreciation. Archaic spelling, unfamiliar comparisons, chaotic sentence structures, obscure references, familiar words used in unfamiliar context, etc., are peculiarities of poetry writing. An efficient teacher can make poetry teaching a pleasant activity with a good atmosphere and suitable and economical teaching aids. Here is a basic order of teaching poetry: introduction about the background of the poem, recitation or model reading by the teacher, then choral recitation, explanation, individual reading or appreciative reading by the students or pupils, evaluation, and then assignment. Now let's see the general objectives of teaching poetry. To enable the students to appreciate the beauty, rhythm, rhyme, and style of the poem, to enjoy the poem as a piece of literature, to enjoy recitation of the poem, to make the students understand the thoughts and imagination contained in the poem, and also to understand the poetic technique and to appreciate the poem, to develop a critical approach to the poem. Now, the last topic is teaching of grammar. Grammar is a theory of language. In the process of acquiring the language, the native speaker intuitively internalizes the grammar of the language, whereas the second language learner has to make conscious effort to master the grammar of the language. Now, let's see the different types of grammar: prescriptive grammar, descriptive grammar, transformational generative grammar, historical grammar, comparative grammar, and structural grammar. Now let's take a look at each of these grammar. First one is prescriptive grammar. It is also known as formal grammar or normative grammar. It prescribes rules for correct use of language in writing and speech. The main stress is on the form. The rules are taught first and then only the use of language. There is no scope for change and innovations are not accepted. Next is descriptive grammar. It is also known as functional grammar or incidental grammar. Here, the learner first uses the language and gradually comes to understand rules. It describes the behavior of language, and the main emphasis is on the functional aspect of language. The rules are not rigid and are subject to change as the language changes or develops. Next is transformational generative grammar. It consists of the basic sentences and the transformed sentences. The transformed sentences are generated from the basic sentences. Next is historical grammar. It is about the origin and evolution of the language and its grammar. The study of grammar is either diachronic or synchronic. Diachronic describes the development of language through time, and synchronic describes a state of a language at a particular period of time. Next is comparative grammar. It is a branch of linguistics primarily concerned with the analysis and comparison of the grammatical structures of related languages or dialects. And the last one is structural grammar. It emphasizes on structures of sentences. C.C. Fries, an American linguist, was the founder of this grammar. The rules are learned through drills and imitation. Now let's see the methods of teaching grammar. The traditional method, the informal method, the incidental or correlational method, and the inductive deductive method. First of all, in the traditional method, the teacher uses a grammar textbook and teaches the rules and definitions with the help of suitable examples and then asks the students to do certain exercises. It emphasizes on rote learning. Next is informal method. It focuses the teaching of grammar through usage of words. Grammar can be mastered by the continuous use of words while speaking, reading, and writing. Third one is incidental method or correlational method. Here, the grammar is taught incidentally during the teaching of textbook, during translation work, or during writing composition. This is also called reference method. Here, the students understand the practical use of grammatical laws. And the last one is inductive deductive method. The inductive method proceeds from observations to law, from simple to complex, and from particular to general. The teacher presents a text with examples and illustrations in a systematic order and leads the students to understand the general principles. Then the deductive method proceeds from laws and rules to observations and examples. Traditional grammar is deductive grammar. Here the teacher presents the rules first and then give some examples. So that's all about the topic. Hope you have liked the class. Thank you for all your love and support. Please subscribe, like and share all my classes and do support my channel. Thank you.